Apologies in advance, everybody. I'm Tony.
Sora.
And we're back to Kingdom Hearts.
It's been
Another minute.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Alright, now. What are we doing?
We should have really looked at our last episode.
We got new planets to go to. So, do I have a warp drive yet? Thank God.
Oh yeah. I remember. The last thing we were doing was Monstro.
Do I have great nostalgia for the gummy ship? Yes. Am I already sick of doing it? Yes.
Well, like I told you, I could make a gummy ship that'll get you through every single one of these super lickety split. No chance of you dying.
You just make it. Are you just gonna make a cockpit and then just a wall of engines?
Nope.
No.
Let's just make a square.
Oh.
An open square. They aim for the middle of your ship. If you make a if you make a ring,
yep,
they can't hit you. Technically, they can. There's possibility of you getting hit.
Trinity. Probably came back here.
Yeah. We could have missed this. You missed the thing anyway. There's a chest there. There you go. Cottage. How are we supposed to get the Ultima Blade if you're not gonna make sure you get all of the stuff?
No. Maybe.
Man, I was thinking the other day, it's like, I would love to just get stuck into Kingdom Hearts myself and grind out the Ultima Blade.
I suppose that's a pretty therapeutic process for you, huh?
Yeah. But there's another one that'd be a little easier for me, because this one, man, it would take so much time.
Yeah, no. One is a bit unwieldy.
I just don't have that much time. But no, if I wanted to do something like that, I'd grind for my favorite run in Final Fantasy IV.
Oh?
Yep. There's a couple weapons that you can only get by collecting rat tails. Or, well, they're not. I think one's a rat tail. But collecting tails.
Oh. Wow. I haven't died in a gummy ship in a while. I forget that hitting things is so much more damaging than getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
And now you give me armor. Where were you when I was dying?
Where were you when they built the ladder to heaven?
They could have taken a ladder here?
Yeah.
Wow. Would have been a long ladder.
Would have been. It really would have been. How long do you think it would have taken you to climb?
Oh, about half the length in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Odd.
Ain't no beating that ladder, my dude.
What was that for again? What was it, like up the side of a building?
Something like, no, it was inside something. No, it's glorified loading screen. What about?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's literally the whole point. Oh, God. Okay. Alright. Let's get this shit started.
This world sucks.
And where are we gonna land? Can we just crash? Can we just crash and die? God, I hate Atlantica.
I guess that was why we haven't played in so long.
I'm dreading it. I'm dreading. Is the first one better than the second one for Atlantica? Yes. Is it good? No. I hate the three. I hate the Z-axis combat, man.
Yeah.
It's so fucking unwieldy. And getting around this place and some of the fucking puzzles. Catching a fucking dolphin and hoping it's the right dolphin. Caught it in the original without having the reaction command. You just had to tap up to get to grab him and hope an enemy doesn't spawn nearby. No, whole ass. I doubt it's even controversial. This level is ass.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. I think Atlantica sucks in both games. And it's a shame, because I love The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
The original movie is a classic.
Although the fact at least two's mostly a rhythm game.
Yeah, no. 2 being a rhythm game is it's honestly less painful than some of the tedious shit you'd have to do in this one. It's 2 is cringe. 1 is bad.
Yeah.
Well, no, 2 is bad. That's a piss poor rhythm game.
It is. It really is.
Because it's not even a rhythm game. It's a symbol clicker.
You know, it's funny that they ended up making an amazing rhythm game.
An amazing rhythm game. No, if you haven't played Melody of Memory and you like the soundtrack to Kingdom Hearts, please go play it. I mean, not to mention, you get one of the coolest castings in the entire series. You get Doc Emmett Brown himself voicing Xehanort.
Yeah.
And he literally, we both said, it's a shame he wasn't him from the start. And that's coming from 2 Leonard Nimoy fans.
Yeah, no, it
was perfect casting. Because the
having
guy in
old
3
Doc
was-
being,
Well, the thing is, Christopher Lloyd has so much more range than people give him credit for.
seriously.
Like, people remember him as Doc Brown when he was fuck, what's his name? Isn't it just Doom in
oh yeah,
in
Who
Roger
Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
No, I think it was Doom. I don't remember exactly.
Literal Toon serial killer. And actually, another great role he plays. The burglar in Dennis the Menace.
Oh, too hot. that was a joke between my mom and I. So it still is.
Dude, I loved it. I'm pretty sure this is the first time me and you have ever mentioned Dennis the Menace together, though.
I think it is.
Which, it's funny because, do you know what movie we adore? Both The Odd Couple and Grumpy Old Men. But no, Dennis the Menace is a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I'm surprised we've never watched Dennis the
No.
Menace. It is one of my favorite movies as a child.
It's so charming. Honestly, it's got a great heart, and the physical comedy is great. Walter Matthau. I watched a review of it recently, and just from the clips, I was just cracking up, man. And like, don't get me wrong, I always considered Walter Matthau to be far better at comedy than drama, and that's not a dig at his dramatic work.
Yeah.
No, I just find Walter Matthau, he has a direct line to my funny bone too, dude. Like, holy shit. The Odd Couple has me roaring every time we watch it.
I also have a special connection to Walter Matthau. No, that's my grandpa. Like, dude, exactly like my grandfather.
I mean, from what you've said of him, well, a bit more vulgar than Walter Matthau, it sounded like.
a little bit, but that's more when he got a little older in age. But no, like back in the day, even my grandpa would say, "Oh no, that's my brother."
God, would it be a crime if I just didn't bring Ariel? Wait, no, she has good heals, doesn't she?
Yeah, if I remember right, she does.
I'll go for a pretty heavy magic build for this area.
You know, it's another good movie with him in it. Mr. Lloyd. Crap, what the hell is the name of the movie now? It's a I think it was Happy Halloween or something. It was a Halloween movie. And he gets killed by a bunch of pumpkins.
What?
And he comes back.
I never saw that one.
Yeah, it's a very obscure one. But like in the end, he ends up coming back as like a zombie kind of thing, and he's just said, Oh, he didn't actually suffocate because his skin can breathe.
Wow. What?
He doesn't realize that he's a zombie.
Oh.
But no, he's apparently like the soul of one of his old students that he helped. Because he was like a goth kid or something like that that got bullied a lot in school. And then like one day he just disappeared and all this, and turns out he wasn't disappeared. He didn't get disappeared. He didn't disappear. Yeah. Blech. He didn't disappear. He got killed. I was trying to say it at the same time, but yeah. But yeah, he was killed in the kiln or something like that by the bullies. And yeah, it's kind of a dark movie.
Sounds pretty
a
bonkers.
little bit.
Sounds pretty bonkers, man.
And then the weird animation they did for the dead kid. Oh. Screw it. There's one thing that creeped me out when I was a kid. I loved like all horror shit as a kid, but this horror movie for children, it's creeped me out.
I don't know what it was, man, but they put something in the water for us kids for those kind of movies, because you know what movie used to scare the absolute living shit out of me? Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh. Yeah.
Simply because that troll had a creepy design, and the entire concept of just turning to wood at the touch terrified me as a kid. Especially thanks to the bed scene.
Oh,
of where
yeah.
is he hiding under the bed? Oh no. And then he's just next to the kid in the bed. That was nightmare fuel for me.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, and like I'm sure for my parents, like, oh, that's fun. That's pretty good. That's a good way to do it. For me, it's like, oh god, I could just turn around and he's there and I'm dead. Mind you, I was also sheltered, so that was like watching Saw.
I
Not
suppose.
Saw. That was the Babadook for me. Sheer unabridged terror.
Yeah. Well, the Babadook had good psychological horror going on for it, so.
I mean, I genuinely am kind of sad that movie's gotten a bit of a negative reputation in the modern day. I'm sad that it went from being acclaimed to divisive.
It's funny that, you know, for the longest time everyone was like all in love with it. Oh no, it's shit.
Yeah.
It's shit.
I mean, for the time, I guess it really is a product of its time for all of it.
Yeah.
Because nowadays there have been scarier horror movies by far released, and like even in the same climate, I think even more than what we wound up dealing with was like, yeah, The Conjuring scarier, but The Babadook was just like, it was subtle horror.
Yeah.
Atlantica gets loud.
It does get really loud. Apologies if that guy was coming through the microphone too.
I actually realized I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going.
Yeah, that's the other problem about Atlantica.
Yeah. Actually, that was one major reason. I actually, the first time I ever played Kingdom Hearts, I put it down in Atlantica because I got stuck.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely did too. I had to wait till my uncle beat it and have him show me.
Oh, I suppose probably head to Triton's Palace.
Yeah.
You see, so, this place has this same fucking problem that, for me, that Traverse Town has. Of when I first played it, I just couldn't. And Deep Jungle is the cutscenes being triggered by just going to different areas is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because this one doesn't railroad you at all. You just can keep exploring in the wrong areas and just accidentally not triggering it by just trying to wander around and figure out where you're supposed to be going and exploring the whole fucking map accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, sometimes it's not easy to figure out where you're supposed to go or figure out that there's a door here. It's just a matter of there's a special way of accessing it.
Yeah. You need to go through this door to get to that door, even though you can technically get through it in this area.
We've had a lot of negative to say about Kingdom Hearts in this playthrough.
We have. We really have.
It comes from a place of love. It sincerely does, for the sake of really, at this point, we've just run out of things to say about it. We've played it so many times that the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that, well, of course, I'm having the time of my life playing it again.
Yeah.
No, I'm back to being a child. Like,
But it's still just easy to point out the weaknesses.
Well, and it's also to the point where 1 is the one I had the most problems with. Like, 1 was a frustrating game for me for the longest time.
Well, yeah, I didn't go back to 1 for a while after 2 came out. Like, I think I beat 2 twice before I went back to playing 1. And of course I played other games in between, but I definitely took a while.
Depth perception, sorry. Depth perception. That's just a picture.
It is.
Lost it. Yeah, I had a ritual. I refused to play 2 without playing 1 first.
Yeah.
Especially, because I would always rent them. I would always make sure to rent 1 first, and then go and rent 2 once I could. Because they were always a video action.
Oh, yeah.
But eventually I bought them both I bought them in Final Fantasy X for about like $50 all at Pawn America.
Nice.
And then I made it a yearly ritual for the longest time to play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 every year. Sadly, that has fallen a bit to the wayside, but that's simply because I'm an adult. And it's unfortunately just... I want to play something other than Kingdom Hearts.
Uh-huh.
Because I love these games. Like, literally. Gun to my head, I would easily drop Kingdom Hearts as my favorite game series simply because of the amount of time in my life it has been my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It has only been recently upstaged, like, to where I can legitimately say I like a series through hindsight and repeated exposure as much as Kingdom Hearts. And that is Yakuza.
Yeah.
You are not to leave the palace. Is that clear?
Don't understand, Dad. God.
I just want to go like live up there in the bright sun.
Man, Sora is one of the least temperamental teens I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, he's been living on a
I suppose he didn't really just have he didn't have the social constructs to be a rebellious teen.
yeah
Priorities were different.
didn't have parents.
Yeah. Yeah, how dare you? Don't you dare disparage Madam Donald and Sir Goofy like that. They're the best mother and father he could have ever had. Any of you argue with me that Donald is not the bottom bitch in that relationship? Daisy or Goofy?
Well, it makes sense with Daisy.
Strap on in the shape of a corkscrew. DuckTales. That's terrible. I'm so sorry.
Call back to scientifically accurate DuckTales.
We couldn't get that out of our heads for years.
I still.
Actually, thanks to our co-host, you know what I haven't been able to get out of my head for the whole weekend?
Huh?
My girl wants to party all the time.
Party all the time, party all the time.
How many of you listening knew that was Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, seriously.
We are in
the weirdest of timelines.
now. I will say no, simply because I guarantee you there's a timeline out there where Wakanda Forever starred Eddie Murphy. Man. I can't wait for Thanos to show up in the PJs.
Man, talk about a show I wish lasts longer.
You know what? You're right. I agree. What we watched of it,
It was a terrible show, but man, it was funny.
It was enjoyable. It's enjoyable. We just put it on one day. Well, actually, we were watching just random shows on Max because we were just like, What?
Yeah, well,
Or no, that was YouTube TV.
yeah, that was YouTube TV. Or no, when I was watching PJs, I think that was Peacock or something.
You know what? I
That
think
was-
you're right. Something like that.
That was when I was going through all the random TV things
Yeah.
because I didn't want to spend the money on YouTube TV, but I wanted something like TV.
And we were watching a million different little shows.
I was watching like the Mighty Boosh and stuff.
Is there more? Yeah, these are all like actual chests. There's actual chests on the walls, aren't there?
I think there's like one.
Yeah.
There you go. Talk about a show that I wish they could do more of right now.
Well, I was actually going to go on a tangent earlier when you were talking about that show with Christopher Lloyd about how you were the king of niche. I was going to point to the Gary Busey movie that we
Oh.
had to look up.
What is it?
Was
it Two-Time Tommy or something?
Something like that.
Tommy Two-Time?
Tommy Two Time or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
That and Bump in the Night. Like, two shows I would never would have heard about, and I still haven't watched Two Time Tommy, but that's also because you mentioned that I'm not missing much.
No, that's one that I needed to watch. It was based off of a Canadian cartoon show. And the kid's whole thing is that he said things twice. So he was just weird like that. But he didn't really say things twice very often in the movie. It was a live action movie. But it had Gary Busey as the bad guy. But then he ended up being the good guy. But yeah, it's really, really weird. And just kind of, the acting overall was pretty terrible. And the story was god awful. But man, did I love it as a kid. And I was looking for it for literally 20 years. Because I didn't know the name of it. It was just some random VHS that I had. And I think it was something that I recorded from when I was still living up in Canada.
That's wild. Whereas Bump of the Night is genuinely, I feel like, a lost treasure of a TV show. That was pure entertainment.
Absolutely.
And some of the most creative stop motion I've ever seen. And it's a show for show's sake. It is nothing but a kid show.
Absolutely. And it's
The
still
main character,
just fun.
the main character is literally the monster under your bed who eats your socks.
Specifically the left one, if I remember correctly.
The show never advances more than that. That is literally the height of the narrative storytelling of Bump in the Night.
Well, he does have a girlfriend, and they get on various adventures. But that was more towards the end of the show.
Lady Bumpington did not stay with him.
Lady Bumpington.
And really, what really sold the show for me was I wound up just absolutely adoring the end of episode songs.
Oh yeah. No, the songs were a big part of it when I was a kid.
If I would have watched that as a kid, I would have never stopped singing that. Like,
if I remember right, I had a 2-pack VHS thing,
oh, nice.
and I think it had the first couple episodes, and then the second VHS was a sing-along track kind of thing.
Nice.
If I remember right.
Oh man, I missed the era of sing-along VHS.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Disney sing-along one that was really goofy, because it was just a bunch of pop songs, spliced over. I shit you not. Well, it was Disney songs, and I think a couple pop culture ones, spliced over footage of Disney World shit. And then
really?
it had the actress for Ariel in it too.
Huh.
Sing part of Your World a little bit.
That's kind of cool.
It was. As a kid, I was such a Disney kid.
Oh yeah. No, I was too. I adored Disney movies, and I always wanted to go to Disney.
Neither one of us are
Disneyland or
Disney adults.
World.
Neither one of us are what are to be considered a Disney adult.
No.
I want that very clear. And first and foremost out in the open. I try not to judge, but that's just man, that's a whole different kind of lifestyle.
It really is.
I can't say I understand, that's for damn sure. Like, loving to go to Disney World and doing that constantly, you know what? I can get that. But when it's your entire lifestyle? Like, you go there and, like, that's the goal every weekend? To just... I don't...
I don't even know how you'd afford it.
Well, some people buy those passes, man.
Yeah.
There are people who live and breathe Disney World, man. They moved to Florida to be closer.
Mm-hmm. You know, I wanted to go to...
so turned around.
I wanted to go to, like, a Disney college when I was a kid. And that's not even out of, like, really what... Well, it's more, I wanted to be an animator. But...
Totally fair.
That's beyond the point. I figured Disney would be the best place. But that's also when I was a kid that only knew, oh, yeah, Disney's the only people that do much for animation. Now that I'm grown up, it's like, oh yeah, no, everyone was doing it back then. It's just, you know.
They have not stood unchallenged for years, but by God, now it seems they've really just taken their, the name Disney just seems like it was supposed to be synonymous with, well, Monopoly? I want to be nice, but Disney as a company in the modern day disgusts me. Which really hurts.
Kingdom Hearts brought to you by Disney.
Right? Oh, please. Some of the shit most of the shows on Fox did when they first got bought by Disney. Brought to you by the Disney Corporation.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you have the right to make the joke, God, I would.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if I could ever get to make the joke boner pills brought to you by the Walt Disney Corporation, I would die a happy man. But unfortunately, that is nothing but libel, and I'm currently being investigated for starting up a company with 2 eyes in Disney and selling boner pills. But that's neither here nor there. We're playing Kingdom Hearts today, and the discount code's in the description. What was it? Hawking Rhino pills. That was it.
Yeah,
Rhino pills.
It's Rhino pills.
Sorry, I haven't been able to get Glass Onion out of my mind again ever since we rewatched it. Oh, that's what we need in the next Kingdom Hearts: a Glass Onion level, a Knives Out level.
Yes. And it's just, it's just Gordan Ramsay following you around, screaming at you for 45 minutes. It's an on rails kind of thing.
Pardon, Gordan Ramsay?
Yeah. Because, you know, Knives Out. It's Gordan Ramsay.
Oh no, sir, you're thinking of Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah, I know.
No, Knives Out.
I know.
Oh.
I'm just saying,
Oh.
having Gordan Ramsay play him.
Oh.
Play him.
Okay, actually, yes.
I guess I should have made myself a little more clear. But
I thought you were. I'm sorry, Fred. I thought you were profoundly confused.
No.
And I was becoming profoundly confused rapidly. Like, what the?
I mean, I didn't.
fuck?
I really didn't explain myself at all, so I understand the confusion. But no, having
That
Gordan
is
Ramsay
Daniel
play
Craig. I mean, dude, are you insinuating that? Huh? I was. My wires were completely crossed. No, I short circuited. Oh, I don't know where to go. I have such terrible a terrible sense of direction here. Gosh. Is it one of those? Is it one where I need to, like, grab the side, or is it one I need to go to the dolphin for? See, that's the problem. There is so many convoluted ways to get around this fucking map.
Yeah. Not to mention, I'm completely lost. I don't even know where you're supposed to be going at this point.
And the sense of vertical space is genuinely a detriment, in my opinion. The vertical space makes this so much more tedious. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's very few.
There's so little distinction with the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's a first attempt, and for a water level, it could be worse.
Well,
It could be so much
it's the same problem with Monstro, too. The verticality makes no sense.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is where I'm supposed to go. Usually, if I can't figure out where to go, I just go to the sunken ship. I do really like the rendition of Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of Yoko Shimomura, right now, I've always loved Kingdom Hearts, but I think I may have a new favorite fucking soundtrack from them. And that is Live Alive.
Yeah. That
boss theme was god tier, dude.
I wasn't able to play. I wasn't even able to play anything. I didn't want to play anything.
He was just watching me play Live Alive.
I wanted to get the game and play it myself, but I was like, you know what? I'm having just as good a time watching you play it right now.
I don't know how you were gonna play it without I don't know how you were gonna play it while I was playing it.
Yeah, seriously. He's gonna do the job.
He killed me so much as a kid. And the thing is, I thought I was doing something wrong. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to wait for him to wake back up.
Oh.
I thought I was supposed to beat him. I thought he was just like an impossible boss that I was doing something wrong with. Like, eventually, yeah, I just fucking ran, but... Like, he does so much damage.
Yeah.
And there's not really a good way to dodge in the water.
No. I think Ark did better water fighting than this.
You know what didn't?
What?
Monster Hunter.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I never played that version. I played 3, but I never played it online or on the
Wii.
The Wii, yeah.
Oh, what a lucky man he was. It was. I'm sorry. I thought it was ass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hated the motion controls. And the water fighting was a pain. But the thing is, in the same vein, I wouldn't love Monster Hunter as much as I do if I wouldn't have played 3 as the first one, because those first moments were amazing. Hunting a great Jaggy the way you did in 3, with no icons with no monster icons on the radar at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, the only way to figure out where things were in those days was just a paintball. And there was no tracking them with Glowfly or anything like that. No, you just had to try and find them. You just had to wander on the map till you found them.
There is one secret way you could actually track them a little bit. If there was a blimp flying near where you spawned, you could wave at it, and that'd point out where it is.
I think that might have been included in Ultimate.
That might have been. You know, I was just thinking about it. I hadn't owned a Nintendo console, like proper console, for like 2 or 3 generations. Yeah, for about 2. I did have a GameCube, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I never owned.
Wii U?
I never had owned a Wii or a Wii U. I wasn't gonna buy a Switch either.
Yeah, no, you were gifted your Switch.
No, I bought it, but only because it was $200.
Oh right, yeah, no, you got it with
I went to it was a Black Friday deal.
Yeah, because you got yours with Mario Kart 8. I forget
Mhm.
that. Oh, if only we could have just left it right there.
Disobeyed me again. I told you not to leave the palace.
Although I'm not sure if Triton has it sealed, or if it could open if it was left in there.
Daddy, no! How could you?
I'm
I
not
don't know.
certain. Imagine trying to figure all the shit we just did out as a kid.
Not from another
Yeah.
ocean. You're from another world, aren't you?
Huh?
Then you must be the key bearer.
I really like that Triton's one of the ones that are in on it.
Mm-hmm.
You may fool Ariel, but you can't fool me. You don't know your dorsal fin from your tail.
Mostly because as an adult too, I can also say,
Must already know.
having rewatched The Little Mermaid at least once since being over the age of 19, I can safely say, oh, good God, you're just a teenager.
This prince
But the thing is, that's the point of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
peace and brings
The
ruin.
entire concept of the movie is teenage rebellion. I mean,
Yeah.
I thank you for saving my daughter.
do you know how many iconic romance stories are about
You or your key.
literally wanting to just a girl going against her father's wishes, dating someone he doesn't like in terms of literature? In classical stories? I mean, one of our favorite movies of all fucking time, The Greatest Showman, is that exact plot.
Oh yeah.
And the funny part is, Little Mermaid does it great, actually. That's because the roots of the story are darker, and Disney decided to clean it up enough to where there's a genuine moral of genuinely being able to respect each other's autonomy while also understanding that sometimes, you know, it'd be helpful to have someone actually say, no, they're evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too much, well, I guess the way I've always seen it is the root of the story is let your kids make mistakes, but,
You're Ursula.
there's such a thing as,
Coddling them too much.
and that creating, situations like this right here.
Yeah.
After all, your new friends came from
That, I mean, truth be told, The Little Mermaid comes from the concept of the Disney movie archetype character, like the princess. Comes from a very solidly placed state of privilege and very niche and traditional-minded storytelling.
Yeah.
Really, what other
Well, I
people
mean,
are going to
it's pretty much a, you know, like shut in and locked in a tower guarded by a dragon. You know, that kind
Yeah.
of story.
most of the people who are watching, well, I feel like the Disney archetype. Most of the people who are watching 101 Dalmatians feel like they could come from a family that are in 101 Dalmatians kind of mindset.
Yeah, I get you.
Where, in the modern day, the household is nowhere near as gentrified as it was when Disney, during the Disney Masterpiece Collection and its heyday.
Yeah. Yes.
The Disney Renaissance is a product of its time. For example, the fact that Clayton didn't just shoot Tarzan in the face. He's an Englishman? He lets a wild man live? Ah! It's the 1800s. They were shoot on sight for anyone. It's
Well,
the British Empire, for fuck's sake.
Well,
You know they
got it back by hanging him in the end.
You know Jane wouldn't have let herself be kissed by a dirty jungle man.
Context.
Hey, he hadn't bathed. Did you see those dreads? Those were majestic for the jungle.
Oh, that's true. That's
God,
very.
could you imagine
well,
how bad that loincloth smelled, man?
Well, he would have had to like kept. Well, no.
He,
Well, yeah, actually, yes.
Actually,
He's
no.
white. He wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have gotten those dreads.
yeah,
naturally.
he's the son of a settler.
He wouldn't have gotten those dreads naturally, and he's in the water constantly. No, he's doing that intentionally.
God, and the irony is the fact that Tarzan is one of the stories that is that old that has had those standards. That whole, like, that's a timeless story. Tarzan is an ancient property. Been around
Yeah.
since the early 1900s.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I knew Tarzan of the Apes before Disney even made a movie, man. My mom loves Tarzan.
I can help you get to these other worlds you long for.
I mean, I knew it wasn't like a Disney property, but I
Mhm.
didn't realize that it was quite that old.
Yeah, no, Tarzan's actually one of the original like big stories. Um, the reality of it is the movie's a little disappointing because his rivalry with Sabor is way more important. It's a big moment for him. Like it's a turning point for him. Where in the movie it's kind of brushed over. No, him killing Sabor is his inclination of proving he's a man
Okay.
and proving himself to Kerchak. And his relationship with Kerchak in the books is fucking wild. No, Tarzan of the Apes is one of the most underutilized properties out there. Well, so is the Jungle Book.
Oh yeah. Well, I knew about the Jungle Book. That's for sure. Well, even
Who here was
Aladdin.
traumatized by quicksand thanks to the Jungle Book live-action movie in the 1990s? I know I was. You ever watch that?
Yeah. Well,
the Jungle Book-
Artax kind of got me.
Oh
a little
god,
bit,
that
but-
too.
Well, it was more of a swamp, but
No, it's the exact same fucking principle.
but swamps are actually that deadly.
Yeah, no, quicksand isn't.
No, I learned pretty quickly that swamps were a little too not safe.
I was told vehemently that,
Yeah.
being as we are surrounded by it.
Yeah. No, I lived out behind a swamp for a while there, and
Ursula, no!
my mom let me play out in it a little too much. There was a couple times where I was up to my chest, and I'm not too sure how I was gonna get out.
Is this game really not just a fishy version of Dirty Dancing?
It really is a fish version of Dirty Dancing.
Like, is that really not what the root of the story of The Little Mermaid
Nobody puts baby in a corner. Sir, you are 35 and she is 14.
is? Nobody.
Why, we have company.
Her voice actor is just
Mm.
Ursula has always been one of the campiest. I've loved every Disney Renaissance villain.
Oh, absolutely. Well, they're all such colorful villains.
Really, the only one I don't like is simply Pocahontas, and that's just because that really the only problem with that movie I have is that just simply the character development is just ass.
Yeah.
My father is hurt and it's all my fault.
And to be fair, I think Pocahontas was just one of those movies that was just far too alienated for what I would have enjoyed as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because for a guy who grew up with a lot less strict tendencies, like I liked a lot of stuff that wasn't pure masculinity, but in the same vein, there were also things that I did avoid watching due to the fact that I also did gravitate towards pure masculinity and boy stuff. Where instead of Pocahontas, I was watching The Page Master.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say there was a better movie. That's the problem, is there's always a better movie. But yes, The Page Master was just
Oh.
amazing.
No, it's
For,
kinda-
when you're a kid,
when you're a kid, it's next level, because that's what books were to me. Hell, that's what books are to me.
yeah.
No, actually, speaking of Mr. Lloyd, here's the
Yeah.
librarian.
Yep.
Man, I wanted to play that game so badly. Every time I
Oh,
watched
I
the
know.
VHS when I rented it, I loved watching that demo. It looked like the coolest game in the world to me.
Mm-hmm.
Played it one day. Holy crap, that's one of the worst Super Nintendo games ever made. No, literally, one of the worst Super Nintendo games, bar none. There's no redeeming qualities for that gameplay loop.
Really.
It is ass. It is trash.
I'm not surprised. Oh. Yeah, that's one I don't think I ever touched. It looked cool, but no.
No.
That and it. I don't think it was ever at like Video Action or anything like that.
Oh, no.
So
Well,
couldn't rent it.
by the
so
time we were
you
getting
know.
into gaming too, the Super Nintendo selection was dwindling fast.
Yeah.
I hate that thing. I'm just trying to get to the save point, man.
I'm just trying to get out of here, man.
If I ever get out of here. Wings doesn't cost as much as the Beatles. That's a song I heard on the radio again recently that I kind of forgot I loved as much as I do. Band on the Run.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a good song.
Yeah,
Mr. McCartney is a pretty damn good songwriter.
he really is. I just wish.
Come
I don't know. I just wish that Beatles wouldn't have. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about the Beatles anymore, honestly.
You know what I have to say?
I used to be a big fan. No, I'm not much of a fan.
Right time.
Oh.
Keep it
It's 'cause
sexy.
of-
Happy Metal Day.